The screamer in chief.
The screamer in chief. Are you referring to Microsoft CEO, former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer?
I think so.
Yeah, he has a pretty loud personality, big presence. Let's just put it that way. He's also the new owner of the LA Clippers, and he made his debut yesterday. He actually sat down with Street Smart anchor Trish Regan, and he's setting the bar pretty high for his new $2 billion investment. Take a listen.
I want the Clippers to be the very best the Clippers can be. The best team, the best players, the best character, the best coaching staff, the best business, the best. I want all of that for the Clippers, and that just means we're going to have to be, as I like to say, hardcore about working to be better, tenacious, more and more excellent in everything we do.
So Ballmer promising to be hardcore. You know he's going to be a very hands-on manager.
What is
hands-on, but not a lot of detail there.
He's going to be paying some guy $4 million a year or whatever, and they're going to sprain their ankle. What's he going to do? Start screaming?
Yeah, well,
that's what happens.
Steve does. He screams.
Yeah, but it's one thing when it's Microsoft. It's another thing when a high-priced talent sprains his ankle. I mean, that just happens.
Well, in this case, usually I think what's challenging in professional sports is the manager or the coach doesn't make as much money as the stars. Now you've got an owner who's bigger than life who can come down and kind of bear down on the players, too. You mentioned Microsoft. Steve Ballmer also spoke about Microsoft under his successor, the new CEO, Satya Nadella. Take a listen.
I think Satya's off to a fantastic start. Our tech people like to pretend is a short-term game. It's not. It's a long-term game. Businesses get built not in months, but in years. But for 6 months in role, I obviously loved Satya and his work for when he worked for me. But I think he's had a heck of a good 6 months. But the truth is, it'll take years before we really know how well he's doing.
Years, not months, to figure out how well Satya Nadella is doing. But, the interesting thing here is that Microsoft, Cisco, Hewlett-Packard, all these enterprise-first tech companies are dealing with Amazon, Apple, and Google kind of jumping into their area, too.
Well, and so, he's rooting for Satya. No wonder he's Steve Ballmer, still the fourth largest shareholder at Microsoft. He owns 4% of the outstanding
I did not know that, really.
Yeah.
I did not know that. And of course, Nadella's been yelling and screaming and shouting and
not quite the same
getting up on desks. And
Can we just, for posterity, show, there it is. This is why we call him the Screamer.
Well, isn't he a salesman at heart? I mean, this is what he does, right? He gets people pumped.
He tries to. He didn't get the stock pumped.
Does this happen at Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Marissa Mayer?
Not in my experience, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day. I'm sorry. If I'm an engineer out of Georgia Tech and I'm working at Microsoft, I'm looking at this guy going, who the hell does he think he is?
Look at how much he sweats.
He's into it.
That is, I mean, having attended the Walmart annual meeting where, Tom Cruise made an appearance, Hugh Jackman made an appearance, they get fired up, but it's nothing.
Nothing like Steve Ballmer. All right, there's only one Steve Ballmer out there, and he is the new owner of the LA Clippers.